Understand English but can't speak?
Speak simple.
Speak confident.
English Boost.
Boost your English.
Hey everyone, welcome back to English Boost. Did you know that almost 70% of workers say a bad boss makes them want to quit? Today we're going to explore that feeling in a super simple, beginner-friendly chat. I'm Alex from sunny California, and I'm excited to dive in with my friend Sarah.
Hi, folks. I'm Sarah, straight from Texas, and I can't wait to talk about those awkward moments with a boss. We'll keep the language easy, use lots of real-life examples, and even throw in a few laughs along the way. Stick around, because you'll pick up useful phrases you can use at work right now.
In this episode, you'll learn 3 practical strategies for handling tough feedback, how to turn a stressful situation into a learning moment, and a funny boss bingo idea to lighten the mood. We'll also share personal stories so you can hear the language in context.
We'll start with a quick coffee shop chat, then move into real work stories, and finish with clear takeaways you can practice tomorrow. By the end, you'll feel more confident speaking English about workplace challenges.
I remember my first day at a tech store, feeling nervous but excited. That memory always reminds me how small conversations can become big learning moments. So let's get comfortable, sip our coffee, and jump into the conversation.
All right, Alex, let's kick off. What's your morning been like, and how did you end up thinking about boss problems today?
My morning was pretty chill. I woke up late, brewed a strong coffee, and then saw your text about a rough day at work. It got me thinking about the many times we've both faced unclear feedback. So Sarah, tell me what happened with your boss, Mike.
Sure thing, Alex. I work at a small marketing firm, and last week I stayed late on Monday to finish a big project. I emailed Mike at 8 p.m. saying, "All done, please check it out." I felt proud, but the next morning he called me in and said the whole thing needed to be redone with no details.
That really stings. It's one thing to get feedback, but another to get a vague redo it without explanation. What did you ask him for clarification?
I tried to stay calm and asked, "What parts aren't creative enough?" He muttered something about the colors being too plain, but he didn't give any concrete suggestions. I left the office feeling tiny, like my stomach had dropped.
I can picture that feeling. When a boss is vague, it leaves you guessing and wastes time. Have you experienced this kind of feedback before?
Yes, a couple of weeks earlier I presented slides for a client meeting, and he told the whole team, "These are boring, try harder next time." Everyone stared, and I wanted to disappear. It was humiliating, even though I'd spent hours on those slides.
Public criticism can feel like a spotlight on your mistakes. I've been there too. When I managed a sales team at a tech store, my boss Karen once pulled me aside after a slow day and said, "You're not motivating the team. Shape up or else." No data, just a harsh warning.
Wow, Alex, that's intense. Did you push back or try to explain the situation?
I tried to stay calm. I said, "Can we talk about ideas to improve?" She just replied, "Excuses," and gave me a written warning. I went home, punched a pillow, and the next week sales actually went up. It was a small victory, but it showed her that I could deliver results.
That's both funny and frustrating. It makes me wonder why some bosses act that way. Do you think it's just stress or something else?
Stress is a big factor, but sometimes it's a lack of communication skills. They may think being harsh will motivate, but it often backfires. What's particularly interesting is that many bosses don't realize the impact of vague feedback on their team's confidence.
Exactly. And that's why I love the idea of a boss bingo card. Squares like no feedback, blame game, and eye roll. It turns the frustration into a game, and it can even spark a conversation about expectations.
Great suggestion. Let's talk about practical ways to handle vague criticism. Number 1, pause, breathe, and ask for specifics. You can say, "Okay, can you point out which parts need more creativity? I want to get it right." This buys you time and shows you're open to improvement.
I tried that yesterday. After Mike said redo it, I paused and asked, "What parts aren't creative? Could you give an example?" He finally mentioned the colors, and I was able to adjust quickly. It felt like a breakthrough.
Number 2, put the feedback in writing. Send a follow-up email summarizing what you heard, like, "Thanks for the feedback. I'll change the colors to blue and green and have it ready by noon." This creates a paper trail and protects you if the issue resurfaces.
That's genius. I used to just nod and panic, but writing it down makes everything clear. Plus, it shows professionalism, which can change the boss's tone over time.
Number 3, find a safe outlet to vent. A trusted friend, a mentor, or HR if the company is large enough. Talking it out helps you process emotions and can give you fresh ideas for handling the situation.
That's why I texted you, Alex. It feels good to unload. But what about the big question? When do you think about quitting?
Quitting is a big step. I thought about leaving my tech store job many times, but I waited until I had another offer. Documenting issues, improving my skills, and networking made the transition smoother. It's less scary when you have a plan.
I'm scared to update my resume because of bills and uncertainty. Still, I'm starting to list my achievements, like the project I turned around after Mike's feedback. Small wins build confidence.
A practical tip, request a brief weekly check-in with your boss. You could say, "Hey Mike, can we have a quick chat each week about my progress? I want to make sure I'm on the right track." Framing it as a collaborative effort often softens the dynamic.
I love that idea. It turns the boss into a coach rather than a critic. I'll suggest it next week and see how it goes.
You've got this, Sarah. Remember, you're already doing great work, and showing a willingness to improve will impress any manager. Keep using clear English phrases like, "Can you clarify?" and "I'll make those changes."
Thanks, Alex. Your support means a lot. Before we wrap, I'm curious, what's the worst boss story you've ever had?
All right, brace yourself. In college, I worked at a fast food place, and the manager, Tony, would yell at us for any mistake. One day, the fryer broke, oil everywhere, and he screamed, "Alex, you're useless, you're fired," right in front of customers. I walked out, grabbed an ice cream cone, and never looked back.
Wow, that's intense. Tony sounds like a cartoon villain. At least you got ice cream as a consolation prize.
Exactly. It taught me to look for workplaces where people treat each other with respect. Life's too short for yelling managers.
I agree. My first job was at a coffee shop where the boss was quirky but kind. He even told me to stir clockwise for fun. It wasn't perfect, but the humor made the day easier.
Those little quirks can turn a stressful environment into a pleasant one. Sharing stories like these helps us see that we're not alone, and it gives us language tools to handle the tough moments.
So, for our listeners, if your boss is mean or unclear, remember to breathe, ask for specifics, write it down, and find a supportive friend. And don't forget to practice these English phrases so you feel confident at work.
One more tip. Practice saying, "Can you explain that a bit more?" in front of a mirror or with a buddy. It builds confidence and shows you're eager to improve.
And that's just the beginning. Next time, we'll explore how to negotiate a raise in simple English. Stay tuned. Let's recap. We talked about asking for clear feedback, documenting conversations, and setting up weekly check-ins. Those 3 steps can turn a tough boss into a helpful mentor.
We also shared real stories, from Mike's vague emails to Tony's yelling, and gave you practical English phrases you can use tomorrow. Practice makes perfect, so try them out at work today.
If you found this helpful, please comment below with your own boss story or a phrase you'd like to practice. We love hearing from you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new English Boost episode. Your support helps us create more real-life conversations.
Next week, we'll dive into how to ask for a raise without sounding demanding. It's a topic many learners struggle with, so stay tuned.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.